to look at others and admire what they're doing and want to share that. So if we feel less than, I will say honestly, admiration comes from looking at someone who's doing something amazing, like someone who runs into a forest fire and saves the day but loses their life. We admire someone like that. And so therefore we want to share that information, because it makes us as well feel good to acknowledge someone else's accomplishments. Okay, and then typically bad emotions that elicit, these you want to stay away from: anger, disgust, sadness, and fear. So pretty much across the board, it's rough to try to, bring forth those emotions when you're creating content. Like I mentioned, you can if there's anticipation or surprise, but there's very little room there, and there's a lot of room for you to go wrong. So if you're creating something that creates anger in hopes of flipping it, there's a lot of room for people to now associate your brand, even as I mentioned, if you're doing a little bit of your brand and yourself with these emotions, and you really probably don't want that. So you want to focus on those positive emotions that will make people want to share and like your content. Okay, so how do we act on this knowledge? Okay, so think about how you can tap into deep-seated human emotions with your target demographic. So we've gone over niches before. Right now you're in a niche. You are targeting a specific group of people. That's your demographics right there. Those are the people that you talk to on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. These are your fans or potential fans. Now, how can you tap into their emotions? How can you provide for them, as we've gone over before, what they are lacking, and remind them of it? Remind them in such a way that you are the solution to that problem. Just you. So you're saying, okay, you have something going on. I can fill that emotion. And you want to find emotions that plague your clients, but will still make you look good. So, as I mentioned, you don't want to be associated to these negative things. You want to be you want to remind, say, hey, something negative is happening, or you're lacking something, and I'm going to be able to fulfill it, but you don't want that stigma then associated to you. You want to stick it to the person who has it, and then you are the emotion of solution. You are the person and that is going to be able to solve that. Your content solves that. Them, following your content will brighten their day, and then moving along to your OnlyFans, where they will further be brightened by your content. So you're moving them along kind of an emotional journey until they become a fan or a super fan of yours. All right, so you want to create ad copy, images, social posts, etc. that speak to this. So whatever you can fulfill, whatever emotions you can help with, you want to design your ad copy, images, social posts, everything you're doing, your words around that, speaking to it. But again, remember, you're going to speak to this. You're in the background for most of the time, but let the potential client determine you are the solution for them. And then reap the benefit of the likes and increases in your viral coefficient. So as I mentioned, the viral coefficient is the one person spreading you out to more people. So if they connect with you on an emotional level with your ads, with your content, they're then going to want to share that with other people. Now they, again, look good. You look good when you make other people happy. So if you send a piece of content over to someone else and they smile, they associate it back to you. And that's what you want. You want people to associate it. Third step. And as I mentioned, you want it to be associated to the person who shared it. And then eventually, if they can just keep sharing your stuff, they're going to have to give credit to you. They're going to have to say, wow, it's not always just me. I keep sharing the same site. Wow, this site or this page or this person that I'm following or this channel, that's what's making me happy and able to share with other people. And then they'll start interacting even more and more with your content. They'll like it even more and more. If you are just putting yourself, if you're just marketing yourself, no matter how great you are limiting yourself in your ability to be shared, for people to share you with other people, unless there's something about you that's just magnetic and everyone just visually just wants to see more of you. And there honestly are people, when I say amazement, astonishment, sometimes people have pictures, just them standing there, and you will say, wow, I'm amazed by how beautiful that person is, or how stunning they are, or how great they look. And, that comes from a lot of, old Hollywood concepts, where people would go out, red carpets. I mean, we're still doing red carpets, even in the middle of a pandemic. We're still doing red carpets of sorts. They're trying, they're still sending out these pictures because that's eliciting the emotion of, wow, I'm amazed at how beautiful that dress is, or how beautiful that person is, how good they look. Again, it's getting into those emotions. And because of that, they're getting shared more and more and more. So you want to tap in to the same thing that a lot of the bigger companies are doing. You want to tap into that. And when you do, you are going to get more likes on your OnlyFans, and you're going to get more likes on your social media accounts. And that in turn will help grow your social media accounts, which will grow your OnlyFans, and it'll all work together perfectly. Okay, so that was how to create OnlyFans content that gets more likes. My name again is Richard Lewis. I'm the founder of OnlyFans Hero, an upcoming platform called Stripper.fan. You can find this podcast on Instagram at OnlyFans Secrets Podcast, where I'm finally actually starting to work on Instagram. As you guys know from my earlier podcasts, I'm a huge fan of Instagram, and that's because of a lot of their rules for people who are OnlyFans creators. But I'm actually starting to engage on there and try to start growing it. So if you feel like jumping on there, I would love that. I just want to make sure that it was going to be there for a couple months and that Instagram would be fine with it, even though it had the term OnlyFans in it. And, as always, we have a Reddit called OnlyFans Secrets. So it's at r/OnlyFans Secrets. That's a subreddit for marketing. We also are on OnlyFans itself at onlyfans.com/OnlyFans Hero, where you can subscribe and follow us for free and get the latest updates on this podcast. We're also on TikTok at OF Secrets Podcast, as well as always being on Twitter at OnlyFans Hero, where we run hourly promotions for OnlyFans creators, still growing by 500 plus followers every single day, both creators and subscribers. So please hop on there and take advantage of all of our free promotion on that Twitter. And as always, you can reach out to me directly at OnlyFans Hero. If you have any questions about the podcast, have any questions about OnlyFans itself, have any questions you want to include in our Sunday Secrets episode, just feel free to reach out to me on there. And as always, if you have an opportunity to leave a review for this podcast, it helps so much. And I really appreciate all of you guys listening to this podcast every day, supporting it. It means so much to me. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.